Today's copyability spotlight is a bonus. Comments for both this video and the high jump video will be used to determine the next ability, even if you already commented. So, comment away. You know, I never thought I'd be tackling this. Both Yarn Kirby and Kirby's Epic Yarn itself are such different beasts from what I'm used to covering. Even before I did the spotlights, Epic Yarn was really only a game I played on and off and never paid too much attention to the speedrun setting. Even with extra Epic Yarn as a thing, I never saw myself covering this game. But I am always up for a challenge. Plus, I am doing this as a reward for somebody who commented under the pinned comment in the Spear video. So, on today's copyability spotlight, we are taking a look at Yarn Kirby. Prince Fluff 2. What sets Kirby's Epic Yarn apart from all the other Kirby games is, well, Kirby himself. Instead of running around, floating, and inhaling his enemies, he turns into a car, descends slowly as a parachute, and grabs enemies with a Yarn Whip. 1 whole year before Whip was introduced in Return to Dreamland 2. This changes the way the game is played in its entirety, but the similarities to normal Kirby are there. It's just how they're used is drastically different. One might say that the closest thing to normal Kirby would be the transformations, as a fill-in to the copy abilities. This is something I want to clear up right away. In both their design for gameplay and even outside of that, these are not fill-ins for the copy abilities. Instead of getting these from enemies, Kirby simply finds them in each level and then undergoes the transformation. The entire point of the copy ability is the customization and freedom of when, where, and how you use them. And the transformations severely limit that. It's more comparable to the transformation in a game like Yoshi's Island. And that's not a bad thing, that game is really, really good. But still, because of this, I won't be covering these in the video. Yarn Kirby's base moveset, though, that's a different story. There are a surprising amount of similarities between normal Kirby and Yarn Kirby, considering how different of a game Epic Yarn is. The Yarn Whip, for example, serves the same basic function as the Inhale does, minus the whole copying abilities thing. The parachute, while not being as identifying and, helpful as Kirby's floating, it still makes platforming easier and helps reach certain areas you wouldn't be able to reach otherwise. The car is the same as Kirby's dash, of course, there's not really much else to say on that one. The submarine is literally the same thing as Kirby with the goggles and the little scuba gear, only in this case he moves underwater faster, so if anything, this is even better. Not everything is one-to-one with normal Kirby. The 2-ton weight and the pendulum don't really compare to anything in normal Kirby's moveset, although the weight could be compared to stone in fairness, but the basics are all there. As far as optimization goes, there's really not much to say. Speedrunning Epic Yarn mostly just boils down to precision and timing, with nothing major in terms of abusing aspects of certain abilities, or abusing high DPS or invincibility, normal Kirby stuff. There are some interesting things here and there, like using the parachute to speed up your fall speed, ironically enough, but nothing major enough to really go into detail with. Seeing it yourself is pretty much the best way to describe it, which is why I have it playing in the background. And of course, the same goes for Extra Epic Yarn, although that game has sort of copyability fill-ins, and they really don't count. I'm not covering them for this, probably never covering them, really. Sorry if you were looking forward to that, but they're not complex enough and they don't really even fit into Epic Yarn to begin with, so we're skipping them. Overall, Yarn Kirby itself isn't really as different as you might think from the Kirby we're used to. Epic Yarn as a game is drastically different from the more traditional Kirby, but the way the character himself was built, so to speak, very much fits in the style of Kirby. It's the game itself that drastically departed. I don't know when I'm gonna get the chance to talk about Epic Yarn again, so I hope you enjoyed this more unique approach to the copyability spotlight. See you next time!